everybody. Claire here from Van Isle Labradoodles, and we're here with a really exciting announcement today. This is the birth announcement for the Cinnamon Swirl litter. And I'm here today with Hazel, who is sitting with me, and her three gorgeous chocolate phantom mini Labradoodle puppies. These puppies were born on February the 2nd. This is Hazel's first litter, and Hazel is just doing a great job. You can see how she's just rolled over there to accommodate the puppies so they could nurse more easily. Now, Hazel is very protective of her babies right now, so she may not let you have too much of a view of all of them. I'll try to pick each of them up, but Hazel is quite particular about who gets to see her babies right now. And this is great. Some dogs, all dogs, not just Labradoodles, when they become moms for the first times, it's a little bit overwhelming. They're not too sure what to do or how to handle things. And Hazel, for the first few hours, was a little confused about what was going on and not too sure what was expected of her or even what on earth these small little things were. But now she's completely settled in and just doing a great job with her babies. She's nursing them well. She looks after them really well. She cleans them nicely. And she has a really good supply of milk at the milk bar. So Hazel's appetite is good, so it's all great. So today on this first episode of the Cinnamon Swirl litter, what we're going to do is just give you a little bit of information on each of the puppies, talk a little bit about Hazel and how she's doing, although we've done that a bit already. And then we're just going to discuss some good resources for you to start taking a look at and some books for you to read. And so this will be a slightly shorter video than our normal ones, but you'll get to see your puppies. So these puppies, as I said, are all mini Australian Labradoodle puppies, and they are multi-generation puppies. So this is Hazel's first litter, and she was very obliging and had her puppies during the day, which was great. She has just a small litter, only 3, but that's good for her. It's easy for her to manage and look after for a first litter, so we're quite pleased with them. And you'll see in the puppies that they are all a slightly different color. So I'm going to start with the one boy from the litter, and we're calling him Choco. Now, unlike our other puppies, we are not putting collars on these puppies because they're all 3 very distinct, and there's only 3, so we're just going to give them little nicknames. So we're going to call him Choco because he is chocolate and a full phantom. So you can see that he's quite a nice little size. He weighs 278 grams. So that's a really good weight for a little tiny mini Labradoodle puppy. And Choco is a full chocolate phantom. Phantom refers to these markings here that you'll see on the side of his face, on his eyebrows, on his legs here, on his hind legs, and also underneath his tail. So that's what makes a phantom. So those are what we call tan points. And it's similar to what a Doberman or a Rottweiler has. So we just think those are beautiful. Phantom is a really unique pattern. There's Hazel's not too pleased with me having him up in the air like that, so we'll just put him back down. Now next to Choco is this little girl here. She's nursing right now, so I'm not going to disturb her. She is also a chocolate phantom. So she has the same markings on her legs, on the side of her face here. Maybe I'll try and pick her up, see if she'll let go without being, there we go. She's not too upset about that. There we go. There we go. Now you can see her beautiful phantom markings on her legs there. And you see she's got lots of white markings too. So she's got the little white toes, a little bit on her neck, on her head and her nose. And then she has a little bit of white on her tummy and the little white tip on her tail. And then you can see the phantom markings on her legs there again and on the side of her face. She's a very pretty little puppy. A very nice rich brown color, and it's really set off well with those white markings. So we're calling this girl Swirl, since this is the Cinnamon Swirl litter. And she weighed 263 grams when she was born, which is a great weight for a nice little girl. Oh, and good, the other ones just let go, so perfect timing. We'll just move right over to her. This is the one we're calling Cinnamon because she has this beautiful, beautiful dilute color. At least I think it's beautiful. So this is very similar to the daddy of the litter, who's our Trip. Trip, if you look on our website and see his pictures, you'll see he is a very similar brown color, and that's what we call a dilute. So Cinnamon is also a phantom. You can see again her markings on the side of her face, on her paws. Then she has the most white markings out of everyone. She has this beautiful white collar, beautiful white markings up her head. And then if you can see underneath, she has almost all white underneath. So she has just gorgeous markings and is really quite a spectacular girl. And Cinnamon weighed 370 grams when she was born. She was the firstborn in the litter. Swirl was secondborn in the litter, and Choco was the thirdborn in the litter. So they're all doing really well. You can see they're nursing vigorously. They have lots of strength. It's amazing to think that they're really just newborns. It always amazes me how puppies come out and even within 5 minutes they're nursing and dragging themselves around. So they're doing quite well at being able to figure out where Hazel is now. And Hazel is being much better about accommodating them by spreading out when she's nursing them. Originally, she was so closed in and protecting them that they were having a hard time finding a spot at the milk bar there. So they're doing well. Now you'll see Hazel is panting right now, and she's making everyone's head bob. And that's because we still have it really warm in here for them because they are just brand new. So it's about 24 degrees in here. So it gets a little warm when we're in here, but it's good for the puppies. And we'll just leave it that warm for the first week, and then we'll cut it back to about 22 degrees. Puppies can't maintain a body temperature, so it's important that we keep them warm. Being warm is really important for them to be able to thrive, to grow, and just to do well overall. And these ones are doing really well. They're all growing nicely and all dried off quickly, and just showing me that they're really a great little bunch of kids. A little tiny litter, but that's okay. They're all three very spectacular puppies. Hazel herself is eating really well. She has an excellent appetite. She eats readily. We don't have to hand feed her. She's not fussy about what she has to eat. She's happy to go outside to go to the bathroom. She doesn't like to stay outside right now for any more than about maybe 5 minutes. And then she's asking us to come back in. She's comfortable going outside with the rest of our dogs or out the front on her own, either way. And she is sharing her maternity room with her big sister, Ripple. And she's fine with that. She's curious about seeing Ripple's puppies from the Razzle Dazzle litter. She doesn't like that Ripple growls at her whenever she passes by Ripple's puppies, but she knows to turn her head and look away and to make sure that Ripple knows that she's quite happy to be subservient to Ripple. Ripple, of course, does think she's the boss of the world. Hazel is not. Hazel's nothing like that at all. Hazel has a lovely, lovely demeanor. She's very easygoing. She's quite comfortable now in her role as a mom. At first, she was a little bit sad that she didn't have a human with her all the time, but she's adjusted to that really nicely. She really likes the fact that she can see out of the doors that are back here. They're glass. So she's always able to see out and see what's going on in the house. She can see the other dogs. She can see us. And she can hear what we're doing as well. And that gives her a lot of comfort. When people come to the door, she does not like that. And she's quick to jump out of the whelping box and bark and make sure that her puppies are properly protected. So she's a very protective mom. So it's great. I think that she's doing a wonderful job. And I wish she had had 8 puppies, but that's okay. 3 rather, is good. I wish there was 6. Now, moving on for the human part of things for this week. What is a great way for you to get started in preparing for one of these little ones to come home to you is to do some reading. And if you follow us on YouTube, you've heard me talk about these books before. And these books represent the style that we bring our Labradoodles up with. And it's our approach. It's a very gentle, very soft, very kind way to bring dogs up. It's all based on being positive and rewarding a dog when they do the right thing, as opposed to punishing them for doing the wrong thing. It's not heavy-handed at all. It's very gentle, and it's all about establishing a mutual respect and admiration between you and your dog. And we just find that that works best, and we feel most comfortable with that. So the first thing I'm going to recommend is that you Google Dr. Sophia Yin. I'm also going to give you a link to her website. She has many products available. She has books and videos. If you have young children, the videos sometimes are easier than the books. The books are available either in a regular book format or in ebook format. They're excellent. Dr. Yin has the most wonderful approach, sensible, no nonsense, really easy to follow. So the book that we highly recommend from Sophia Yin is The Perfect Puppy in 7 Days. And if you like her style, which I hope you do, then there's many others that she's written that you can also take a look at. And the other author that we quite enjoy is Suzanne Clothier. And she's written a book that's called Bones Would Rain from the Sky. And that book is not so much, Dr. Yin's book is, here's your puppy, do this, and this will be the result. Here's the certain tools that you might want to use. Oh my goodness, we got some complaining going on here. Mr. Choco was not getting a spot at the milk bar, so he had quite a bit to say about that. Suzanne Clothier's book is more about relationships and how to build relationships with your dog, and also how to understand them a bit more. Dogs don't come speaking English, they speak Doglish, and none of us are really that adept at speaking Doglish. So this book is just a series of stories about various dogs that she's interacted with, many of whom were sort of thought to be a lost cause, and how she observed them and learned more about their behavior. So it's an excellent book. It's one you might want to read later on after you've had your puppy for a while, as it isn't a how-to guide, but it is a beautifully written book and very poignant, and I think does an excellent job of explaining human-canine relationships. And the last one I'm going to recommend is by Ian Dunbar. Dr. Dunbar is an older vet, but he has excellent, practical, good advice on how to do things as well. And the book that I like by him the best is Before and After Getting Your Puppy. It's a really good book, deals with everything that we're going to deal with in these videos, plus what to do after your puppy comes home with you. The link that I'm going to give you is to Ian Dunbar's site. He, as same as Sophia Yin, has many different products available, lots of videos. He even has Udemy courses online. They're usually about $15. There's all sorts of topics that he covers. But the Before and After Getting a Puppy book is sort of the most applicable for families when they're getting a new puppy. Just a second, I'm just rearranging the puppies here. And then the last thing I want to talk about is books that are not recommended by me and don't really have the approach that works well with a Labradoodle puppy. The first one is Cesar Millan, who you may all have watched on when he had a TV show called The Dog Whisperer. It was on the National Geographic Channel. And Mr. Millan would appear to have taken dogs that were red zone dogs, aggressive dogs, and been able to cure them from really poor behavior and aggressive behavior without too much difficulty. His approach, however, involves quite a bit of a disciplinarian type approach. Mr. Milan likes very much to be the alpha and the leader of the pack. That's something that we do not condone whatsoever with Labradoodles. It may work really well for Mr. Milan and the dogs he works with, but it's not going to be successful with this breed of dog. They do not respond well to a heavy-handed approach. So we don't recommend that you follow any of his guidelines, and please don't buy his food either. It's a grocery store food. More about that in a later video. And the other book that's been around for a long time and was one of the first books I read when it came out in the 70s is by the Monks of New Skeet. I really like the Monks of New Skeet. I think they do a great job and have some really wonderful ideas. but they too are a little bit like Mr. Milan. They haven't evolved. They haven't grown with the times and how our relationships with our dogs have matured and blossomed. So they still also are very much focused on a dominance approach, a whole lot of emphasis on you go out the door before your dog, you eat before your dog does exactly what you say. Um, that's sort of, you might as well buy a robot dog if you're going to have a dog like that, in my opinion. So I don't recommend either of those books. The Monks of New Skeet have some good parts in it and some really good exercises, but unfortunately they haven't, even with their new version of their book, moved along with the times. So those are my reading recommendations for you. I think you'll enjoy all of them. If you only have time to read one, my first recommendation is the book by Sophia Yin. I think you'll find it easy to read, easy to follow, and a really valuable resource tool for you. So that's our video for this week on the birth of the Cinnamon Swirl little mini Labradoodle puppies. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give us a thumbs up if you did. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel so that you will always know when your video is available with your update. We will give you one each week. We will also do pictures of the puppies, but we won't do pictures of them individually until they're a little bit older. We don't like to stress them out too much. We like to get Hazel and the puppies all settled in. So we're going to leave her now and let her just go back to being alone with them and let everybody settle down a bit. So we look forward to seeing you for our week 1 update with the Cinnamon Swirl puppies from Van Isle Labradoodles.